Well, good evening, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. My apologies that it's taken 4 days again to get a video out. Didn't expect that to happen, but just a lot going on behind the scenes. So anyway, as promised, I am going to make a sequel or a follow-up to the video I did Sunday about Tesla and ideas to play the split coming up. As a reminder, again, Tesla is splitting 3-for-1. And I myself have been looking at ways to play this through options trades. And a few things I wanted to clear up from the video I did Sunday. I showed some probably insane returns in the Power E-Trade app. And those of you that follow me closely know I'm not a huge fan of the E-Trade options platform. I think Ameritrade is way better. And I think I've shown why in some cases, because I'm a big fan of the Thinkorswim platform on Ameritrade. It gives you all the fundamentals and everything. E-Trade doesn't show you fundamentals of the options. Like they don't really show you like theta and delta and vital Greek values that you need to see on the screen when you're trading it. And it defaults to in the money on the option. That's burned me a couple of times actually, because I never want to buy an option in the money. I usually want to go out of the money so that I get it cheaper. And more often than not, that will decrease your probability of a profitable trade. More often than not, which I'll show you, because I'm actually, as much as I'm not a fan of the E-Trade app, I am going to show you the Power E-Trade tool as promised, because I was showing it on my phone in the last video I did. Well, now I have it up on the desktop, and I'm going to show that today. But back to Tesla. So I've been following the stock all week, and it's shot up Monday as I expected it would, because all the buzz around the split coming up on August 24th. Of course, I think that had just been announced Friday. So naturally by Monday there was going to be a big pop in the stock. But now it's dropped back because we've had a couple of we almost had back-to-back down days in the market, but the market kind of surged to a positive close today. And Tesla still dropped. So it's at like $908 a share, but it had gotten as high as 937 Monday. So we came out of the gates at 861. Oh wait, that's Friday. That's August 12th. So if we go to Monday here, because this is showing the last 5 days, Monday, see, we opened at 912. See that like pre-market trading, there was like a $12 gain between the normal market hours. That's something else I'm working on mastering. You can trade like in pre-market and post-market without futures. So that's something that we'll get into in other videos. But so where we closed Friday, $900 pretty much even. We opened at 912. We surged all the way to 937, 937.50 by one, and then dropped back down to close at about 928. And then we dropped from there. So my threshold to get in, if I'm going to get in, I probably will do something tomorrow. I don't really want to wait till next week, because I do think those stocks going to move up in advance of the split. And again, remember the option split 3-for-1, just like the stock. So to kind of visualize that in terms of a bit of a magic trick here, you go from one share of Tesla to three nice shares of Tesla. And I know that's not quite an Andre Geek level of magic, but it's a try on this channel for my first attempt. So, but yeah, that's kind of the idea there on a split to kind of visualize it. So now let's look at options. And the example I showed on the Power E-Trade, because I said E-Trade tends to default to the options that are available today and that are in the money today. So it showed a very low like entry price. So when I did the example and I showed like 10 contracts buying in like really cheap, that would be buying in like basically one that expires in the next month or so, which is not what we want. I'm looking to go and do a leap, which is far out. So a leap is actually going to cost you a lot more than a more short-term one. Like if you were to buy these that are expiring tomorrow, you would end up getting into these really cheap because you've only got one day left, and you're probably you're probably not going to make money with them expiring so soon. But if we go out here, you see how cheap these are? Like if you get close to in the money or just slightly out of the money. And remember the risk. If you get in the money on the day of expiration, you are probably going to get assigned. If you hold it through expiration, you're definitely going to get assigned. And you don't want that because remember, this controls 100 shares of Tesla. So, first of all, your broker shouldn't let you in unless you have the money to buy 100 shares of Tesla at the current price. So, that means you need almost 100,000 in your account to buy that. So, you don't want to be playing around with short term options like this. But you can see a lot of these fell by 70 or 80% today. Because that, theta decay, of course, you're within that 30 days. So you have exponential decline in the theta value, which is time decay. See, that would have been good if you had like shorted this or if you were collecting premium, then boom, 80% return in one day. But yeah, so that's what I was kind of looking at there. I was unfortunately E-Trade defaulted to too short of a term and options. So I'm looking, I would probably go out at least 6 months, if not more. And I would probably pick a ridiculous price. And what happens, the more ridiculous strike price you pick, the less your probability of it becoming in the money is, and thus the less your probability of profitability. That's kind of a tongue twister. Probability of profitability. How's that? I kind of like that. That could be a channel name, actually. Interesting. Watch someone do that now. Okay, so I think I was looking at 1775, and see, this is $50 per contract. This wasn't like $5 or whatever I showed on Sunday. So I would pick something like this. And now let's go over to the Power E-Trade tool. And this is the desktop tool here. So this is pretty much the same thing I had on my phone. And now, as much as I said I don't care for E-Trade's options platform, which that's the options platform on the main page of E-Trade, this one is the Power E-Trade app, and they've actually got some good things here. They've got some things that I think, unless you know what you're doing fully with the Ameritrade Thinkorswim, it's not necessarily going to show you. Like, look at this. It shows your implied volatility rank percentage, current implied volatility, change in implied volatility. I mean, these are all important because implied volatility is very important to options. So, and then look at this. It analyzes your, and this is going to make this trade look really dumb. It analyzes max profit, obviously infinite, max loss, probability 92%. So the odds aren't necessarily in your favor at that point. Probability of breaking even is only 7%. So some of you watching may think, why would you even consider a trade like that? Well, because my thought is that Tesla is going to move up. I mean, I could be wrong, but Tesla could continue to surge massively ahead. And that's my thought. So in a sense, that is a bit of a gamble. I mean, because I could be totally wrong. And if I were to wager one contract at like $5,000 here, I could be completely wrong. But what I really like here, because I'm a visual learner and a lot of my audience are visual learners too, this is what I like to show here, this risk profile. Watch my mouse here. So as this moves into the green on one contract here, watch the profit and loss. This is the potential as if the stock were to move this high. And this looks like my example from Sunday again. So this is probably going to seem like at that $40,000 potential profit on $5,000. I mean, you're almost 10xing your money. That probably seems highly unlikely, but if the stock moves to that strike price of, in this case, 1775, just one off from 1776, which is kind of a cool number, then that's what your profit would be. But if the stock just moves to like say 1300 or so, you're still going to make a nice profit over that time. And I could totally see Tesla getting to 1300. Let's go back to Yahoo Finance and just look at I want to say the all-time high for it was around 1300 or so. So let's look at it again, because I think it conceivably could get back to its 52-week high at minimum, if not surpass it. Let's see what the gurus have it. Well, 1 year target estimate 884. So it's actually got it overvalued right now. But keep in mind, the stock just split like 2 years ago. And that split, that would have been a golden one to get into. Okay, so going back a year here. So it was at 12/22/09 in November. That's pretty much when everything peaked out. 52-week high showing 12/43/49. So then conceivably this could get to that. And if the underlying price gets to like 1250, you have a $10,000 gain, which is awesome. I'd take that on one trade. I think that's really cool. But at this point, myself and most of my audience aren't going to be able to put 5 grand. Well, I mean, I could probably do one, but 10 contracts, like the example that I gave on Sunday, is not going to be feasible. I mean, it's not like, I just am sitting on $10,000 in cash that I can just throw at, the option contract. And by the way, this isn't real. I wouldn't be holding real money like this, but this was something I couldn't pass up. I'm a big fan of props for my channel, so I'll be using these a lot going forward. And it looks pretty real, but don't want anybody to get any wild ideas that I just have that kind of cash sitting around. I'm not a fan of cash anyway, as some of you know. I like having it in a bank account or something that's making money. Sitting like this doesn't make anything. It just loses value. It loses like 8 or 9% a year at this point. So anyway, with all that being said, let's look at because I kind of wanted to demo this tool here. Let's look at Nvidia. Nvidia is another one that I've taken out a leap in because Tesla right now, I looked at the theta and the delta on Ameritrade since E-Trade won't show it to me unless I'm missing it somewhere. So the fundamentals for Tesla aren't quite there. I think that's actually going to be a really risky trade, even though I think that the stock will get to like 1250 or 1300, but I want to look at one probably more feasible. So I want to look at Nvidia here, and I'm in Nvidia. I got in a year out. So let me go, and I'm just gonna. This is like bonus content now, and then I'm gonna end it. I gotta get going. Actually, it's getting where I've got no time to do anything lately. But all right, so Nvidia, and I'm kind of still fooling around with this here. It's kind of a relatively new tool for me. So I'm looking at September 2023, which is interesting because the reason I paused there, because the expiration for the September, there's a weekly in the month of September 2022 next month that expires September 23rd. So you can get confused between September 23, meaning 2023, and then you can get confused because September 23rd, 2022 versus September 2023. Anyway, you get the idea there. But looking at Nvidia here, so I am wagering, and I say wager because that's kind of what this is. There's no certainty. I mean, I have a pretty good idea with this chips bill that just passed through Congress, and the fact that Pelosi and her husband were in Nvidia. I know he sold his Nvidia stock. I think it was just to save face. I mean, I think with the scrutiny on him, I think he kind of just did that. But I think it was foolish to sell it. I mean, because I think Nvidia is going to go up after that chips bill got passed. Anyway, and if you look at the 52-week high for Nvidia, it was 350. Nvidia is a stock. If you follow it, it's constantly gotten back to its 52-week high, and it's split several times, and it's returned like just so much value to shareholders since 1999 when it first debuted. So I wagered on my Nvidia option that I got into, my Nvidia LEAP option, which remember is a long-term equity anticipation option. I got in at a $350 strike price because if you get in at the money, it's going to cost you like $4,000 or $5,000. It's much cheaper the further out of the money you go. But remember, the further out of the money you go, the less likely your chance of profitability is. But you can't really go by all the profitability is based on today. I mean, not profitability. There I go again. Probability. The probability is based on today, where we are today. Just think about where we were like the day before the pandemic, right? I mean, the predictions before we locked down were totally different than they were the day after. So that's only based on today. So I don't put full stock in that. It's more of like a guideline. So, okay, looking at 350, And see, we're still on, this is what this app does to me. We're still on September 2022. So let me scroll down. Okay, here we go. 393 days until expiration. That's what I like seeing. And see the little green arrow here? Because I'm already in this one. So it's reminding me that I'm already in it in case I forgot, which I wouldn't. But I appreciate the reminder, E-Trade. So, and it's actually gone up from where I was. Let's see here. So if you click on the ask, and I don't want to do that. I want to do trade lab here. So let's see here. Why is this not? Let me move this down here. Oh, build strategy. This is the tool I like here. So build strategy. I could have just done this instead of fooling around with that. Build strategy. Let's pick 350. 350. Price is going to be, of course, it defaults to the ask price. One little trick on this, if you're doing options, I would try to get in at the midpoint between the bid and the ask. So if you look at my mouse here, or my cursor, I would try to get in, because it's between 525 and 625. I would try to get in for like 575. So let's just say that. And then these fluctuate so much that during the day, like you can easily get in for a different price. So all right, let me move my screen share back up here. Save strategy. And now this is going to show what could happen. And this, again, almost 92% probability of max loss, which, remember, your maximum loss is only what you paid for the contract. In this case, this is a call option, a LEAP call option. So your max loss is 575. But remember, that's to have a chance of a massive gain going forward. So let's look here. If we get to, and I don't know why this is ending at 220. Maybe I need to zoom out. I'm not sure why, because we're wagering at I thought we were wagering at 350. So I'm not sure why this is showing. Huh. See, this app is not the easiest to master. This should show 350 here. Let me see if I can see on the phone. I could be able to move to the right. Well, it's panning to the right, but it's not. I don't understand this. Anyway, I guess I'll end it there. But you can see, you get the idea that I showed from Tesla. You can make a solid gain, going far out. And like I said, I'm very bullish on Nvidia. Let me see if I can do this on the phone really quick here, since this is going to get glitchy on me. Wait a second. And right. Why is this not? I get frustrated when stuff doesn't work. See, because this is showing maximum profit of 650 on, if it gets to 220, which is only $40 from where it is. I mean, that's crap. Like, why would anyone do that? You might as well just buy the stock. Oh, it kicked me out. Oh, that's because I just signed in on my phone. Duh. Okay, so let's go up Power E-Trade, which I'm on. And then this should only take a second here. This is going to be not buying shares. Just bear with me here. I should have this in just a second. Nvidia option. This is going to be September 2023. And it's a little bit different layout on the phone. 350. Come on, September 2020. There we go. Because see, it defaults to like the current one that shows like 1 cent. You're never even going to be able to enter it for that. Okay, September 2023, 350. Come on. All right, here we go. We're just going to pick the ask price here. We'll do 1. And then, okay, now this is right. So this is saying only a $7,000 profit if it gets to 350 again. It's showing a $7,000 profit, which is not that great, but still that's more than doubling your money. So with that being said, thank you for watching. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. I'm going to try to get back to a more consistent schedule, so hang in there with me. I should have a lot more good tips that aren't advice, but only for educational purposes, coming up here soon. Thanks so much, and have a great rest of your day.